afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another beautiful episode. Welcome to another beautiful episode in HIS 208. So I will be taking you Franco-Prussia War and Congress of Vienna. Now, starting from the Congress of Vienna. Congress of Vienna. Congress of Vienna is if I would define this now, Congress of Vienna is the coming together, is the gathering of the superpower, then the European superpower immediately after the Napoleonic War, to discuss how to reconstruct European map and to reconstruct Europe as at that particular time after the Napoleon War has ended. You see, I believe you must have heard of French Revolution and the man called Napoleon Bonaparte. Yes, Napoleon Bonaparte was a very strong man, a strong military man who disrupted the whole of Europe then with his expansionist policy, moving from one place to another, defeating one country. He disrupted the map of Europe then. He disrupted the what should I call it? The geographical mass of Europe then. So he added a lot of countries to France colony. So immediately, a group of 6 countries, including Austria, Britain, Prussia, and all others, came together, and Belgium, to defeat Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo. Then Napoleon was sent to exile. So the European powers now came together. Then the European power consisting of Britain, Russia, as at that time Austria, and a lot of them came together with a lot of countries. Yes, when they came together, their coming together was called the Congress of Vienna, because they gathered at a particular place called Vienna. That is the capital of Austria. Vienna is the present day capital of Austria. Austria, Austria. So it is the capital of Austria. Do you understand? So that is it. And why do we call it Congress? Is because it's just like a convention. The gathering, Congress means a gathering of people to discuss a particular thing. So Congress of Vienna is the gathering of the European powers at Vienna. That is the capital of Austria. Do you understand me? It is the capital of Austria. So it is the gathering of European powers at Vienna to discuss how Europe should be administered, to discuss how to restore the peace of Europe and how to restore the map of Europe, how to make sure all the discrepancies and all the irregularities that Napoleon Bonaparte has caused during his expansionist policy, during his expansionist wars, will be restored back. So that is it. Now, what is the and if I should tell you, the Congress of Vienna happened in 1815 precisely, but when you get to Google or when you get to your search engine, they will tell you Congress of Vienna 1814, 1815, but precisely it happened in 1815. Now, who were those who participated in this Congress of Vienna? How many countries came? Yes, we have over 200 European states who appear, but those who spearheaded the meeting, those who spearheaded the Congress, like àwọn agbátẹrù I believe the people who organized the meeting, they were about 6. I will mention them. They were 6. So I will mention them, and probably I will mention the name of their leaders. Austria was led by what? Prince Clemens, Klemens. That was the leader of Austria then, who went to represent Austria at the meeting. And Britain by Castelrau is Castlereagh. In other words, it is pronounced Castelrau, but let me pronounce it as Castelrau so that we will understand. And then Russia too was also present, and the name of their leader who represented them is Caesar Alexander I. Some people call it Caesar. That is Tzar, but some people call it Caesar, but it is Caesar Alexander I who represented Russia. Then Prussia. Remember, Prussia is different from Russia. Prussia is one of the countries that Germany, they are one of the, should I call it, German speaking country then. In fact, Germany came from Prussia. This present day Germany you are seeing is part of Russia. So it's part of Russia. Do you understand me? So that is what you should note. Now, who led Prussia on their own? Prussia was led by Prince Karl August, Karl, Karl August. I believe you can spell August. The 8th month of the year, August. Now, the last country who spearheaded it, I told you there were 6, it was France. And France was led by what? Prince Talleyrand, Talleyrand. Prince Talleyrand. Do you get me? So that is what? That is the participants. Those were the those were the leaders of the Congress of Vienna. Those were who spearheaded the Congress of Vienna. Do you get me right? Now, so I believe you can get me now. So I said they have over 200 participants, European countries, but those were the 6 who were like the leaders. Okay, what was the purpose of the Congress of Vienna? Why did those 6 countries call together the Congress of Vienna? Why did they call together the Congress of Vienna? Okay, and I will tell you one of the reasons why they called together the Congress of Vienna. One of it is to do what? To redraw Europe map. To redraw the map of Europe. Like I told you the other time, Napoleon Bonaparte had disrupted the map of Europe. He had mismatched everything. He had joined a lot of countries. He had joined Austria together with one country, joined another country together with another country. So there is Europe does not have a regular map again, does not have a geographical territory. But when these people came together, they drew another map for Europe. Then number 2 is to establish a new balance of power. Yes, during the period of Napoleon Bonaparte, there was imbalance of power in Europe because Napoleon Bonaparte was seen as a superior man, a superior military leader in the whole of Europe. So wọ́n bí ìdààmú àdúgbò. So bí ìdààmú àdúgbò. So he was like one of the most powerful then. Who dares Napoleon Bonaparte? Who dares France then? Nobody dared to say I want to fight against France. So that was why there was a coalition, about 6 powerful countries or even more come together to fight Napoleon Bonaparte alone. So to tell you he's powerful, you cannot face him alone. It will be trouble and disaster for you. So as a result of that, now when he was being defeated, now the people now came together. So how can we make sure that nobody rises up as a tyrant again in Europe? How can we make sure there is equality of power among the countries or among the superpower in Europe? So that was one of the discussion in the Congress of Vienna. Then number 3 is to prevent future French aggression. Yes, they said, okay, this is what we will do. We don't want France to become aggressive again. Yes, we don't want France to become aggressive again. So they did what? They tewon. You know the meaning of tewon? They suppressed them. They gave them limitation. Just like how they did to Germany during World War I and World War II, where they suppressed them. Then the last purpose or reason for the Congress of Vienna was to do what? Restoration of monarchies and traditional regimes. Restoration of monarchies and traditional regimes. Yes, you see when Napoleon Bonaparte was fighting all this war, he was defeating all these countries. You see all the king, because then in those periods 1814, 1815, the 1800s, even the 1900 up to World War I, most countries in Europe were still ruled by kings, queen or an emperor or empress. That is to tell you that majority of them practice monarchical system of government. That means they were ruled by their monarch head. Do you understand me? So that was what you should know. So but when Napoleon Bonaparte was fighting after the French Revolution to 1840 to 1811, 1812, all the countries he conquered, he did what? He removed their king. He disposed their king. So he makes sure that what? He put those who will be loyal to him in the arms of affairs there. He will just put them, oh yeah, you go to Germany, you go to this one, you go to this one. So all their kings have no more power. But when Napoleon was being defeated now, in the Congress of Vienna, they talk about what? Restoring those kings back. So they actually restored those kings back to their position. That was one of the purpose of Congress of Vienna. Now, what is the achievement of Congress of Vienna? Or what is the significance of Congress of Vienna in the history of Europe? Number 1 is this. That you need to know. Number 1 is this. It is real. Congress of Vienna was noted for what? The rearrangement, or let me say the reorganization of Europe. Yes, there was reorganization of Europe during the Congress of Vienna. You know, I told you Napoleon Bonaparte had scattered the whole of Europe ó ti da Europe rú yamayama, ti da map Europe rú, ti da territory. So but during Congress of Vienna now, they did two things. They there was territory redistribution. You know the meaning of territory redistribution. Ilẹ̀ tí Napoleon ti gbà tẹ́lẹ̀, they will do what, they will return it back. For example, now maybe Napoleon has conquered two land and added it, so they will do what, they will return the land back to the owner. Yes, they will return the land back to the owner. And then there was what, border redistribution or border redrawn. Yes, they redrew the border of Europe. 1-2 years they redraw the border of Europe. So that is what I want you to know. They redraw the border of Europe back. So that is one thing you should know. Do you get me? Yes. Now, number 2 achievement is what, balance of power. I have said that already. So before, France was seen as a superpower in the world, the gallant superpower, like people are seeing USA today now. But after the fall of France during the Waterloo battle in Belgium, so a lot of countries rose, like Austria, Belgium, Russia, Prussia, England, all of them begin to fortify themselves. So there was balance of power in Europe. So nobody could behave as a tyrant again. Nobody could say, then another thing is what, restoration of monarchs. You know, I told you there was restoration of monarch. Then number 4 is what, concert of Europe. Yes, you see, this concert of Europe was what laid the foundation of modern day international organization. Yes, you see, this concert of Europe was proposed by Caesar Alexander I. That what should they do? They proposed that let us come together to form an organization. Then there was no organization in the world. There was no international organization in the world. So they came together to say, let us form an international organization, that when we form this international organization, then there will be peace in Europe. Then we'll be able to do what, further our own interest. For example, like if we belong to the same group, we will not want to attack ourselves. So that concept of Europe was a system of diplomacy and what, collective security. Yes, that you will do your part, I will play my own part. You will do your own part and I will do my own part. So that was what it was about. Then the second to the last one is the second to the last achievement. That is the 5th achievement, is what, prevention of conflict. Yes, you see, this Congress of Vienna was able to prevent a major conflict in Europe for about 40 years. Yes, it prevented a major crisis in Europe, major war. So there was no outburst of war in Europe for about 40 years until what, the Franco-Prussia War, of which I will explain, until the Franco-Prussia War. Do you understand me now? So it actually cemented the peace of Europe for over 4 decades. Now the last one is what, you see, this Congress of Vienna influenced the rise of nationalism, liberalism, and free and independence movement in Europe. Because as at then, the Congress of Vienna also made some mistake, which I will discuss now. They also made some mistake by doing what, by unlawfully joining some countries together with another country. So they tried to correct a mistake with another mistake. So a question may come out and tell you that Congress of Vienna is correcting a mistake with another mistake. What was the mistake? Napoleon Bonaparte was joining a lot of countries together. Yes, was joining a lot of countries together. So they wanted to give those country freedom, but in their own desire of giving those country freedom, they add those country back to some countries again, and those countries whom they had to other country were not really satisfied with it. They wanted their independence, and everything collapsed and caused what, a grievous fight. Do you get me now? Yes. So that is it. Now, what are the criticism or limitation of this Congress of Vienna, or what were the mistakes of Congress of Vienna? Number 1 is what, it ignored nationalist aspiration. It ignored nationalist aspiration. What does that mean now? You see, after Napoleonic War, those countries, you know, I told you over 200 countries came to the Congress of Vienna. Now, most of them were expecting that this meeting will give them their total freedom. Like, since Napoleon is dead, let us go on our own separate way, give us our land back, and let us do what? Let us administer our land. But those people, the power there, the major powers there, European power there, the 6 countries refused. So they added some countries whom they should have left alone. They added them to another country, and those things caused problem. Yes, it caused problem. It caused problem. It caused a lot of problem. That was when I said in the last point I made the other time, that it fear of nationalist movement. So those people were disappointed that we expected that you will give us our freedom, but rather rather than giving us our freedom, you end up putting us in another form of colonialism again, or form of imperialism in another country. So why? Then number two is that what they fail to address social and economic issue. Yes, you see this Congress of Vienna just address the political issue affecting Europe, that is peace, war and conflict, but they fail to address the poverty state, the inequality between countries, then the lack of resources in Europe then. So it failed to do what did it failed all those. It just focused on the political aspect. It neglected the social, the economic issue. Europe then was at the bridge of economic recession. Yes, because Europe later Europe later entered into a period of economic recession then. Now another thing is what the Congress of Vienna did not prevent future conflict. Yes, it did not prevent future conflict like the Crimean War, the Franco-Prussian War. In fact, if you dig deep into the causes of World War One, you will discover that this Congress of Vienna is is one one salient and should I call it salient? Yes, salient and what should I call it? Remote causes of World War One. Yes, this Congress of Vienna was one of the remote causes of World War One. If you can dig and read more about it, because this Congress of Vienna did something, like I told you the other time, it added countries together, that it created unequalness. So they added those countries together with other countries. So those countries they had to other countries were not really happy, and those countries whom they had them to, those countries are behaving authoritatively. So it causes what anger in the heart of those people. So those people are fighting for were fighting for freedom. So that was one of the causes of World War One, the nationalist causes of World War One, and that was one of the reasons that caused the killing of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the Balkan crisis region. Do you understand? So the Balkan crisis region can be traced, the Crimean War can be traced, everything can be traced back to this Congress of Vienna if you should critically analyze it and read more about it. So the fourth point is this: it reinforced reactionary and authoritarian regime. Yes, what should I say? Now you see, I told you they disposed those kings before. Meanwhile, most of those kings were very, very corrupt. Yes, most kings that Napoleon Bonaparte disposed, they were very, very corrupt, absolutely very corrupt. They were very, very corrupt. But what could they do? Nothing. Nothing. But when this Congress of Vienna returned them back to their post, now those people now became more porous. They now became more evil. They became more authoritarian. They became more dictating. Since nobody could resist them again. Nobody could send them away. So whatever they do is what you accept. So they became more they become more of a dictator, more of an authoritarian leader than representing the interest of their people. So if you can actually, this is one of the cause of what we know as the Russian Revolution, the two Russian revolutions that happened. They had authoritative leaders, most especially the February, or some people call it the March Russian Revolution. So those are the things under what, under the Congress of Vienna. So like I will explain the Franco-Prussian War in another voice note.